Right, okay, back online. So this is a 42-day update on the carnivore diet. It did start off on the low FODMAP diet, moved to the carnivore, and now it's back onto the lion diet, so quite strict. I've had quite a few cheat days, and been trying to record as much as I can with my breath device at home, the hydrogen and methane levels. I've been back up to Manchester to see family for a wedding, so actually did really well going to Manchester. It was coming back where I had more slips, I guess, just falling out of routine and just allowing myself. Oh, in fact, I've actually started back at work, which has changed quite a lot. Obviously, I'm physical. My job is very physical, landscaping, and so my need for calories has gone up, and I wasn't prepared for that. And so some days I've come home with not enough food in my system, and I've just been straight in the honey jar, tablespoons of raw honey, which I've got in the cupboard. And surprisingly though, I didn't get such bad reactions or as bad as I anticipated. And then some evenings I've come home and I've eaten dinner, and then I've still been hungry, and instead of eating a steak at 9 o'clock in the evening before bed or 8 o'clock in the evening before bed, I've made some homemade ice cream. I made it in advance, probably made it at like 7 o'clock, and eaten that a few nights on the bounce. But I haven't been derailed from any of the cheat days. Last night I had a takeaway, an Indian takeaway, watched East is East, and I did a breath test this morning, and I was medium on the hydrogen levels, which, you know, I had a lot of mango chutney, and I guess there was onions and garlic and ginger and stuff in the curry too. So I knew that was going to happen anyway. All right, I knew it's obviously not optimal, but I'm just doing my best. And like I said, I've been trying to record as much as I can. I've not done every day. Some days where I've just been, strict lying. I've felt unnecessary to record because I know I'm just gonna blow really low on the chart anyway. So here's where we started off on the 9th of April. Very high here. You can see that's out of 10. 10 is maximum that you can blow. The levels are detected on the Airy device, and then moving forwards to where I started, carnivore, somewhere around here. Yeah, so see, it's getting less and less. Or maybe that was lion diet actually. No, that was carnivore. And then I think I tried a celery juice, which messed me up for some reason, even though there was no fibre in it. And then here's how it's been the last period. So that was the Manchester period. Let's go here. And I think it was like the 24th till the 26th of May. Yeah, so round here somewhere, when I came back from Manchester and I started back at work a couple of days later, and that's where I've had some honey, some homemade ice cream. Interestingly though, the honey didn't actually trigger much in me, but it was more the ice cream with honey, maple syrup actually. And then, where are we now? Yeah, that was this morning doing the breath test from having the curry last night. So, but like I said, I've not been derailed by any of the cheat days. Normally when I going back 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago, if I'd have eaten anything like that, I would have probably had depression for a day, very low energy. And now I'm still getting some symptoms, but I don't have, like, the depression is gone. Like I don't have depression anymore because I believe it was being caused by whatever the imbalances within my complex gut issue, whether it's bacteria or candida, both histamine related. I haven't got mass amounts of money to be throwing into this. I wish I did have. I'd have more testing done. I'd probably have the organic acids test. But now I'm back in work, so I can start getting these tests again. At least experimenting with them anyway, and I want to go and have some bioresonance testing done just to check some other things within my body. I've tried bioresonance testing in the past and found it to be pretty helpful. So there are two things which I would like to have done. I'll probably go and get the bioresonance done first, see how things are going, and then if I make good gains, I might not need the organic acids test, the oat test, or I may need it. So I'm just going to play things by ear and go slowly. So what's changed? The lion diet. I think the last video I did, I was going to go super strict carnivore, meaning not even eating fatty cuts of meat, eating very lean meat because of my the suspected candida and the known bacterial infection. If it's quite bad and severe, which I believe mine is because I've had it for so long, even the sinew and the tendons and ligaments within the chuck that I eat, the fatty bits, they can actually feed the bacteria, possibly the candida within the gut as well. So I was going to go strict carnivore, like super strict carnivore, and just eat lean meat. But there was still some kinks within my strategy and daily diet that I thought I could really fine tune before actually being that restrictive, because that seems super difficult to me. Imagine eating a steak without fat on it. Fat is where all the taste and the flavour comes from, and I think a lot of the energy source as well comes from the fat to get into ketosis. I'm not aware if I'm in ketosis or not, but I could be, because I eat really fatty cuts of meat and I put tallow, like a tallow gravy type of thing on my meals, which sounds a bit disgusting, but honestly the sous vide has changed the game for the steaks. If it wasn't for the sous vide, I don't think I'd be doing nearly as well. But now I'm having 3 steaks a day, which is mad to think that my body can even digest that. Not long ago, I would struggle to eat 1 portion of meat in a day. Now I'm having 3 steaks in a day, and I'm waking up at 5. I have my steak at 6:30. Then I cycle to work, have lunch. So I have a sous vide steak in the morning, sous vide steak in the evening. I look forward to those every day. Once I've eaten one of those, I don't need anything else. I feel complete with nutrition. And then in the afternoon, I'll take my thermos, what I got off Amazon, and I'll just boil some meat in the morning as I'm preparing my bag for work. Boil it for about an hour, 15 minutes, and then I'll put it in the thermos, and I'll have it around 12, 1 o'clock. I'll drink the broth. I just put some salt in there, and that seems to go down really well. Some things that I have changed though, which I think are really important to mention, is the supplements that I'm taking. So I'm taking lipase and protease. So the lipase to break down the fats and the protease to break down proteins. I take them after the meal, 1 each. I'm not affiliated with any of these or anything, but it's all what I could find on the market, which was specific for fat and protein. And then at the start of my meal, I'll take some hydrochloric acid or betaine hydrochloride to help break down the meat, because I think I've got low stomach acid and low enzymes. So those 3 supplements I think are a game changer and really important for my healing journey. I've definitely noticed that I'm breaking down protein and fat better since taking them. And then what else am I taking? I'm taking quercetin, 2,000 milligrams a day, which is very high, but that's to help stabilize the mast cells, which I believe are in overdrive within my body, producing more histamine, or very sensitive anyway to foods that I eat. And I question whether the sous vide could be keeping me in an inflammatory state by because it's cooking the meat long and slow. And cooked meat, when it's cooking for a long period, or it's left in the fridge once it's cooked, is known to increase in histamine, which could be an issue. But anyway, I'm not cutting the sous vide out just yet, no way. I feel like I can definitely fine tune and make some more progress before I restrict things, if I have to. The next one I'm taking is Mega Micro Balance. I was watching a podcast with Judy Chow, I think her name is. She's a big advocate of the carnivore diet, and she was doing a podcast with a woman who I think must be the CEO or the founder of the Mega Microbiome Labs, and this is for yeast and fungal support. It contains I don't know how to pronounce this, undecelinic acid, which apparently is super effective at breaking down the, it's not going to bring it into balance, undulaic acid or something like that. I can write it in the description anyway, and B propolis. So I've been taking that to help with the candida, and again, I'm unsure how much everything is helping. I know for certain that the hydrochloric acid and the enzymes are helping without a doubt. This I'm taking just hoping that it's killing the candida or reducing the numbers. Don't want to kill it off completely. And then in the evening, first thing in the morning, last thing in the evening, I'll take some magnesium. It's a magnesium complex, and then I will also take some potassium with food, and that seems to help with just my energy levels in general. I've not felt tired or fatigued since being on the carnivore diet, and I think the electrolytes have been a massive help for that. I put Sous solution in my water. I have like a 2 litre bottle of water, and the Sous is just dissolved Himalayan salt, and I'll take a plastic teaspoon of that and put that in my water every day, first thing in the morning and when I go to work. And I think those things are definitely helping to help my body hold on to water and keep its electrical charge so I can go about my day without fatigue. In the past, when I've tried carnivore and I've not taken electrolytes, I felt really tired, had digestive issues and felt constipated. So what I'm doing now seems to be working. I think what's not working is me being so slack since coming back from Manchester and allowing, like, I'll still eat meat 3 times a day, or twice if I'm not working. I'll try and do an intermittent fast on my days off, give my body a bit more time to heal. But for sure, from today, I'm going to be super disciplined. Yesterday, having the takeaway was just like, right, okay, I'm ready. I feel ready. I've built up the motivation again to go back at it and really, hopefully, make some further gains. And so it's not like I've fallen off track. I don't believe I've fallen off track. I've just allowed myself a bit of slack. I love ice cream, and having a takeaway, is nice once in a while. I always prefer eating at home because I know the quality of the food and the oil is better. But yeah, I've allowed myself a bit of slack. I've been gentle with myself. I've not been harsh. And 2, I've not beaten myself up. I've just allowed myself, because I've worked hard. This last 42 days I've put in a lot of effort, and I know that from my own personality and habits that I'm really putting in effort, and I know I could go further as well, and I think my default will also change slowly. But the thing that is making all this sustainable, everything that I've just talked about, is the sous vide. The sous vide steak changes everything. I buy my chuck once a week, minimum 7 kilos from the butcher. I'll butcher it, chop it into steaks, and then I will put each steak in a silicone bag and leave them in the sous vide cooker for 48 hours. Take it out, flash fry it on the skillet, on the cast iron skillet, and wow, it's like the best steak you've ever eaten. Morning and night, better than restaurant quality. I've got something interesting to share on the the restaurant in a minute, actually, something that I believe I manifested when I started the carnivore journey, or the line diet. But yeah, the sous vide changes everything. I eat the meat, I feel good digesting it. It's still nice and pink on the inside, very easy to break down. It's like a crispy layer where it's pan-seared on the cast iron skillet, and like jelly on the inside. Just, oh yeah, it's so good. I've just had one for breakfast this morning, and I basically do my sous vide. Let's show you over here. So this is the sous vide. That's the sous vide. This is just a plastic box, and this is just me. I've put some insulation around it. You know, I think you can buy like a very expensive sous vide machine for 300 quid, but this is just cheap. There's the silicone bags, and that's some pork belly, which I'm having cooking for a friend tonight and myself. And this is some beef short ribs, and then I've got a couple more steaks in there. And wow, is this stuff good? So the pork belly is something that I'm gonna have every now and again, just when I feel like eating something different, because pork contains really high amounts of vitamin B1, and I haven't really eaten that much pork in the past, and I have suspected nutrient deficiencies just from my malabsorption for the last few years with my gut issues, and so, you know, potentially heading into this diet low in certain vitamins and minerals. So having pork every once in a while, I don't think is a bad thing, so long as it's sourced from high welfare farms. You know, pork can contain a lot of parasites and nasties that we don't really want in our system, especially if we're already unwell. But meat has very little B1, so thiamine is like the anti-stress hormone. So thiamine B1, that is. So it's important to have. I don't feel stressed, but just as like a mitigation of stress, I'll have it like once a week, once every fortnight, as part of my, you know, routine. So that's where I'm at. Moving forwards, like I said, I plan to buckle my belt even further and have less cheat days this next 30 days. And oh yeah, an observation that I noticed with the histamine. One day I came home and I thought, right, I'm going to try some histamine foods today, and I thought, sack it, I'll just throw all the histamines in there. I had some heart, kidney, liver, and wild caught salmon. So all the offal are known to contain higher histamines for some reason, and fish can vary in its histamine amounts, but generally fish can have high histamine because when it's killed and it's on the boat and the fish has got all its guts in it still, the guts produce histamine, and that leaches into the meat, and the meat increases in histamine, the fish increases in histamine. So the sooner the guts are taken out, the lower the histamine, but you know, every trip's probably going to be different depending on how the boat is run and everything. So you can expect to have high histamine in wild caught fish and in organs. So I thought I'd try it one day, coming home from work, see where my body's at, and I ate it, and within 45 minutes my whole face, in my beard, I had loads of dandruff. I had dandruff in my hair. I didn't have any like brain fog or anything, but my skin showed me that I'd given it something that it didn't really want, and I suspect it was the histamine, because all those foods are really healthy. So that still tells me I have the mast cell activation, potentially the candida, and I just need to be a bit more strict. So moving forwards, I'm also going to practice to help with my discipline, semen retention, something which I've done in the past on and off sporadically. I first came across it when I was in India and I was practicing yoga. I did a yoga teacher training course and I was very curious. I had a lot of questions for the Swami who taught me yoga, and I started learning about semen retention, started practicing it, and I think it's very good for strengthening just will, discipline, increasing energy and vitality. And I think these things are very important for what I'm trying to do, which is go against my whole software programming habits, bad habits, vices, which are installed, in my brain. And so trying to override them requires a certain amount of discipline and presence consciousness. So I've been meditating most days doing Falun Gong, which is like a Tai Chi. And from 2 days ago, I'm practicing retention to help just boost my overall discipline and energy. I have a girlfriend, so that's obviously difficult. I have to just be mindful of how I go about my business, and just try and stay strong in that. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm heading. I feel very hopeful. I feel very happy with my progress, and the fact that I've been able to have tablespoons of honey and ice cream and a takeaway and not feel any depression whatsoever. I've started work for the first time in a year and a half. No, a year. It was a year exactly on my birthday, like a week or so ago, that I had to quit my old job. I was working on site then, but the inflammation within my body feels like it's so much less that I can start back at work. So that alone is massive progress. And then the thing that I wanted to share about the steakhouse was when I started the Lion Diet 1 month ago, I said that in 30 days time, as an incentive, I would treat myself to a ribeye. And what was so interesting was on the 30th day, when I was in Manchester, my dad says to me, oh, you know what, I could really do with a steak. I could really do with a steak today. Should we go out for dinner tonight? And my dad actually invited me out for a steak and bought me a ribeye. And I thought that was very synchronistic. I thought it was a manifestation. You could call it coincidence, but to the day, to the food, to the cut of meat that I wanted, the ribeye, because I wouldn't go to a restaurant and pay for a ribeye. It's not within my, it's not something I would invest my money in at the minute. I would rather spend it on tests for health and everything. So I thought that was pretty cool. But what I realised at the steakhouse was that my steaks are way better. My chuck sous vide that I do is like hands down a 10 out of 10 for a steak, I would say. The ribeye that I had at the restaurant, it was pretty tough. Felt like a rump, big 16 ouncer, and I felt like I would have preferred to have a sous vide, one of my own sous vides. So that's it anyway. Nothing else to share. I've waffled a lot, but this is all just a recording for my own journey. I don't know if anyone's watching. If you are, it might be helpful. Leave some breadcrumbs for you to try some things out, but I feel very hopeful going forward with this diet. I feel back in my own skin, no depression, no brain fog. I'm back in work, and I love sous vide steaks now. I love the way sous vide steaks make me feel as well. I love the way they taste, and I love the way they make me feel. And I'm eating 3 steaks a day, so all this is massive progress. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to share another video in another week's time or so, see where I'm at, see how my discipline's holding up, and if I'm able to remain strong and just eat meat, salt and water for the next week, which is what I will do. Anyway, thanks for watching, and speak to you again soon.